Hey guys, so late video tonight for tonight's Hopper Hot Take. It is just after midnight here in Texas, um, but I actually just woke up. I slept most of the afternoon and evening away after a crazy and busy week back on campus. It's great to be back on campus. Um, For us, we started athletics June 8th, so on Monday was our first day of athletic activity in, over 2 months. And I just wanted to make a little video after the first week, just kind of let you know how things went and how we felt, or at least how I felt, and where we go from here and how we move forward. All right. So, again, this is something we've been planning for several weeks. We didn't know when we were going to get the chance to get back on campus, but I would say really around the middle of April. You kind of start throwing ideas around, and everybody starts coming out with these guidelines and plan protocols and all this stuff, and things change. And I mean, I know that I feel like I went cross-eyed reading these documents from the CDC, the Texas State Health Department, the county health department, the diocese, and the National Federation of High School Athletic Associations, and the UIL, and other organizations from across the country, the NATA, Corey Stringer Institute. Everybody has some sort of guidelines out there, recommendations, and the thing is, it's all about health and safety first, and getting back to athletics second. But we all know the benefits of athletics, and so it is important that we get to that next step and get back to athletics. And a lot of people think that we're moving too fast, and maybe at times we are, but maybe at other times we're not. Okay. Um, you know, Controversial topic with COVID. We have to remember that there is a lot of concern. There's a lot of issues, right? There's, you know, here in Texas, we've seen an uptick in cases, in hospitalizations. Um, that's obviously a concern. But at the same time, we have to remember that there's a lot more to this world than just COVID too. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people forget about. For us in athletics, we still got to worry about cardiac arrest. We got to worry about exertional heat stroke. Um, we got to worry about the mental health and well-being of our student athletes. And so we have to put all of that, into play. We have to think about all of that as we go through creating these protocols as we return. And so a lot of really great work has come out over the last 6 to 8 weeks or so, maybe a little more. Again, from these different organizations for us to get to the point that we're at. So we got permission to begin athletics as of June 8th. And our first week, we were restricted by our local diocese to outdoor activities only, okay? Which means for us that we started with football. That was our first step, was bringing football players back on campus. And our strength coaches have done an amazing job with their workouts this week of utilizing the equipment that we're allowed to use, which is limited, okay? But also taking into effect the fact that we don't know exactly what our kids have been doing for the last 8+ weeks. Some of them have been working out, some of them have not. And so how do we address the needs of our kids with our limits that are in place? And like I said, our strength conditioning staff has done an amazing job of that this week. utilizing dumbbells and a lot of body weight, mobility activities, conditioning activities. Fantastic work. And next week they get to go into the weight room and start getting into the weight room and progressing that way. And I think that's going to be a great thing for our kids. And again, we have limits in place. Smaller numbers in the weight room. They're going to adapt the workouts in order to utilize other spaces to try to get more work done. And again, we've gone to smaller groups. And that's another undertaking they've had to undertake. They originally thought that we were going to get all 100 of our players potentially out on the field at one time. And that simply isn't feasible, right? That's not doable in our current environment. And so we split our football program up into 3 groups of 30, roughly. And we normally were around 20, 21 kids in each session. So we had much smaller groups, but we still maintained spacing. We utilized the whole football field. Now we're going to be able to go in the weight room with about 10 kids in there at a time. And so, again, we'll keep those same groups, but now we can do a little weight room, a little bit of conditioning on the field, have 2 smaller groups within each group, and go from there. The other thing, we get to start volleyball, cheerleading, dance. Those are our next step as we progress fall sports back to athletics. And so this week we were not allowed inside. The bishop, the superintendent of schools, and our administration have evaluated as we went this week and have made the decision to allow us to move forward and go into the weight room, go indoors, where we weren't allowed to go this week. And so that's our next step. So I know that our volleyball coach is really excited about getting in the gym on Monday afternoon. And so, again, they have restrictions in place. And we will be addressing those restrictions. We will be addressing cleaning. We will be addressing our check-in system. I want to thank everybody who's been involved so far, from our administration, our athletic directors, who have attacked this with the mindset of again getting our kids back safely. They have supported Lindsay and I in this endeavor, and everybody has an opinion about COVID, right? But the opinions don't mean much when we have to do what we have to do, and so making sure that we follow guidelines and make sure that we do the best that we can. Again, Lindsay, Patty Barton, who's our school nurse, who's been there every step of the way helping us along with this process. Our maintenance staff, our coaches, everybody just chipping in and doing this. Our parents and our athletes. I know that what we're having to go through, you don't want to do. I get it. We're in the same boat, right? But we have to do it. And so we've had a lot of parents this week who have made smart decisions and made decisions that are best for their family, but have also made decisions that are good for our football program, our school community, right? And I'm sure those aren't always easy decisions either, but we were very clear that these are voluntary workouts, and if you're not ready, then don't show up, right? We've had a couple of instances where maybe there was a little bit of concern about some sickness and things like that, and we had parents make smart decisions and keep kids home. in those situations, so that regardless of what illness is going on at home, it's not getting spread. And so many groups being diligent. We've there's a lot of paperwork involved, more so than even before. There's a lot of paperwork involved. So our first day was a little bit of a hiccup. There were some things that we had to address here and there. A couple times we had to pause, right, and make sure that paperwork got done correctly. But I also want to thank Larry Lasky from Children's Health. He came out Monday morning and observed, and gave some feedback, and I think helped validate from an outside source that we are doing the things the way that we're supposed to do them, right? And I think that's the best way that we can go about it. As we went through the week, we still have hiccups, but kids are doing what they're supposed to do, right? That first day we had 30-something kids out of the 70 who hadn't done the daily self-screening yet. So, that was a pause for us. Every day we got better. Where, hey, maybe that next day we had, probably 15 kids, and now it's 3, 4, 5 kids here and there. Today we had a couple that you could see them as they walk up, and all of a sudden they stop and they get back on their phone to get a hold of a parent because they realized they forgot to do that. And so we are taking this step by step. I think step 1 has gone well for us this week. Step 2, like I said, begins on Monday as we begin to reintroduce some indoor activities. Like I said, in the weight room, volleyball, cheerleading, all getting ready to get started. And we're looking forward to that. I'm sure we'll have some hiccups along the way once again, but we'll address those, and so that they're just a hiccup and not a major stopping point. And that's what our summer's going to look like, is little steps forward, screening every day, cleaning every day, doing the best that we can to keep distance, with the realization in mind that kids are kids, and hopefully things continue to go smooth for us. But like I said, we just want to. We all want to get back to what we want to love to do, and that's athletics. And this new norm that nobody likes to talk about is the thing we're gonna have to do for a while. So anyway, I am exhausted. Like I said, it's a little after midnight right now when I filmed this. I came home this afternoon after football and passed out. I woke up about 9:30, 10 o'clock tonight, and but I just wanted to shoot this video and let you guys know how the first week went. So have a great weekend, everybody, and I'm sure we'll be talking soon.